Parmesan seed, spaghetti and meatballs staring at me, spaghetti and meatballs staring at me. Get yourself a serving, maybe two. Talking Bulls basketball is what we do. Get your garlic bread and your dish of the week on spaghetti and meatballs. Oh yeah, spaghetti and meatballs. Don't forget the Parmesan cheese.
All right, all you fellow meatballs. We are back, play-in game style. Myself, Trevin, and John Z. How you feeling over there, buddy?
Well, we kind of talked pregame, and we're here.
We're here.
We're kind of where we thought we would be.
Yeah, it's kind of weird to end up in the spot that you've kind of figured you were going to end up in for the last 4 months. We've had so many conversations like, oh, if we do this, we can get up to the 6th seed, or if we stay at the 9th seed the whole.
We were probably always 7 through 10 anyway.
Yes. We like to keep it optimistic around here. We like to give people hope. But
there's so much hope in that 7 versus 8 that at least you're actually in the playoffs.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're the 8th seed and you lose twice, you could be out.
You could be out. And the Heat went from playing last year when we beat us to
and
the finals.
If any of you recall, that game was actually, I believe the Bulls had the lead in the last 90 seconds of that game.
They lost. I don't know if it was necessarily at the buzzer, but
it was definitely in the last 30 seconds.
Yeah, they were. So.
Yeah. So we were really 30 seconds away from an NBA Finals run, is the way.
Yeah. Now, we're not saying they were going to win the championship, but we were going to be in the finals.
We were definitely taking the East.
So we're going to get into post-play-in a little bit, but let's talk about what do we think for the play-in game. We got the Hawks.
Yep. So tomorrow night, at home.
At home.
Are the Bulls still 3.5-point favorites?
3.5.
3.5-point favorites. I like our chances.
I do too.
What do we go 2-1 against Atlanta?
Yeah, and you know who surprisingly gives us fits is DeAndre Hunter. He's I don't know, man.
Yeah, he's the one guy on that roster that no one else really. Io is always and Caruso have done their things on Trae Young to keep him limited, and Hunter is the only one that actually has done any damage against us, I feel like. That we don't match up well against.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Because I think we do match up everywhere. And had we a healthy Patrick Williams, I think that's a different story.
Yes, because if nothing else, he would at least hopefully lock him down on defense.
And now it's just so we think we win that game. We go on. What do you think about we play either, who was it, Philly or Miami?
Yeah, so Philly and Miami play in the game before us tomorrow night. And then if we win, we would play the loser of that game. So I think it's kind of the same thing. I would rather face, if we win tomorrow, I would rather face Philadelphia. And
the thing that sucks about it is that if we would have got into that 8 spot and played the 8 versus 7 and got the 7, I really think we could beat the Knicks.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. I don't know if you caught any of the game on Sunday, but that was a good game. Jalen Brunson
is just, man.
If I were to pick 5, he would be in my starting 5 all NBA team. He would be like what he can do. Gosh, I just love it.
And isn't it crazy that he can back guys down, but he's not a big guard. He's just
he's
a
just
rock.
Tough, dude. He's that bulldog mentality, dude. He's not going to get stopped.
No.
So, but I agree with you. They would match up very well against the Knicks.
Yeah, it's crazy. And now it's you're right. I'd rather play Philadelphia. Embiid is still working his way back into form.
Yeah. And the Bulls have handled Philadelphia pretty well the last couple of years. With the game plan of let Embiid do his thing and kind of stop everyone else. So
we're hoping for a Miami win there, and we play Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And then we get the Celtics.
And then we would get the Celtics, and that would be over, and maybe we could make a fifth game out of it. But Boston is going to have no trouble in the East.
No, I couldn't imagine. You know who could shock
that Giannis might be out.
Yeah, and Giannis might be out. I hear Damian Lillard's not happy in Milwaukee.
Boy,
and they got their own.
I can't believe hiring Doc Rivers was a mistake.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Like he's calling them out.
Mistake.
So what do you think? I think we have a good shot. What do you think? What do you think about Javonte being back?
Yeah, we haven't really discussed that. I've enjoyed it. I've always been a big Woo fan. I don't know, just the energy that he has. So I've enjoyed it. I think the one game, I think it was against the Wizards when a lot of people sat. He scored like 25 points.
Yeah, it was something crazy.
That was fun to see. Yeah,
one field goal or something.
I do have to say that, like, watching him play, and I know that he was injured, and maybe that was, because so much of his game is the explosive and the defense, so maybe that's why.
Yeah.
But I find it hard to believe that it took him that long to find a roster spot.
Yeah, I do too. I'm like, how is it this guy this athletic that
plays defense, that hustles,
matches up 1 through 3?
You would think that, like, a team contending for the title would want to have someone, even if he's the 10th guy, just to have that energy off the bench. But I don't know. I'll take him.
I'll take him too. And it's, I just feel like we're just like, I don't know, man, just going round and round. And it's like, we know what we're going to get with DeRozan. We know what we're going to get with Coby.
Yeah.
Vooch is going to do his thing. We're going to beat the Hawks. And then, maybe we have some fun and entertainment in a game versus the 7 or 8, and that's it. Season over.
Yeah. Yeah. I pretty much agree with you. It's like I said, it's just weird when you're in the spot that you figured you would be, and you got no draft capital. You don't
Okay, let me ask you this then.
Yeah.
We lose tonight or we lose the next night. We're back in the lottery at least.
Oh, well, okay. All right. Sliver of hope, yeah. So actually, we don't want to win. We really want to end up playing the Celtics for multiple reasons.
Well, we find ourselves back in that position. Like, how do you or I or any Bulls fan watch the game and just hope to lose?
I don't know.
You're not, right? You're not.
Right. Yes, it's hard to sit there and actively root against your team. But in the big picture, that's really what we want.
Yeah. Right?
You got to keep that lottery pick and hopefully you hit on somebody. It's not a very good draft. I don't know. Maybe.
But then at least we get. We're saying we get a top 14 pick,
right? As opposed to the 20th pick or something.
Yeah, yeah. So then it also gives us a shot at a top 10. Who knows?
Yeah, right. I mean, you're obviously not going to get like a top 3 pick, but to get yourself in the top 10, I'd be happy with that.
Yeah, for sure. And then
we pack a little bit of hope here, John.
Okay, so that's what we got. Yeah. Now, let's just transition because this is just making me. What are you looking forward to off season? What do you got?
Well, that's the big.
Or what have you heard?
That's the big question. Well, the first thing is you got to trade Zach, right? So what are we looking for? Are we looking to trade? I don't know if you can trade because I know the draft is fairly close to after the finals. Can you even?
Yeah, it's like the end of June, 2 weeks after.
Yeah, so I don't even know if they could acquire a first-round pick for this year for Zach. But could you get it? We were talking earlier. We're probably not going to have the pick next year from we're going to lose that to San Antonio. Can you get another? Can you make that up in a Zach LaVine trade? I don't know.
Oh, so we trade Zach, but we already know what we are without Zach, and this is where we're at.
Yeah.
So then we lose that pick.
Well, I mean, really, then, what we should do is probably what we should have done all along. Now, the good thing that we didn't do it beforehand is that we found out Coby White is who we hoped Coby White could be.
Right.
So trade, don't re-sign DeMar. Trade trade Caruso, trade Vooch for whatever you can get for him, even if it's a late second round pick or something.
Yep.
And maybe that roster is in the same spot as next year, but at least you got more young guys getting minutes, and maybe they don't do that well, and maybe you get a higher lottery pick or a higher chance for a higher lottery pick. But I mean, really, that's probably the most logical, best route that they should take.
I saw an interesting report that there's been discussions of a straight up trade, Zach LaVine for Trae Young.
See, I don't know what that does.
I don't know either.
For them, I feel like that's another one of those moves where you just kind of, I mean, don't get me wrong, I like Trae Young, but I don't think that
it doesn't move the needle.
Not that much. Even if he's slightly better than Zach overall.
Yeah, I would take, if you're telling me choose between these two, I would choose Trae. He's younger.
Yeah.
He's a point guard.
He doesn't have the knee injury history.
I would take Trae Young over Zach LaVine.
Yeah. I agree with that. Now, straight up, though, because I mean, of course, I don't know what Trae Young's contract is or what that situation is, but I don't know. That's an interesting one. I hadn't really thought of a trade for him. Like,
I don't even know if it was like a legitimate
player. I just think more of trying to acquire draft picks. But I mean, Trae Young is an all NBA player, so it's not like.
So we don't resign DeMar. This is all me spitballing.
Right.
We have Trae Young, we have Coby White, we have Patrick Williams, and then we see where we're at with our big guys. If we bring Drummond back, or if we have Vooch, or if it's like, I don't know.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to do a little quick search here and see what kind of big guy would be available. Because our backcourt is we're pretty set there. I
mean, but it's like, what do we have up front?
Especially if you get Trae Young, then that allows Ayo to be that sixth man off the bench, which really, may be his best role.
And then, but Trevin, here's the monkey wrench in this whole thing. You and I were talking. If Lonzo is indeed playing 5-on-5 this summer, that gives us a sign that he's coming back at least at some point.
Yeah.
What does that look like?
Yeah. I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know if we really want to be banking too much on that. I think that's one of those
pipe dreams.
If he does come back and he's, contributes, that's just an added bonus. But I don't think with everything that's gone on the last few years that we should count on that.
Hey, but I'll tell you what, if that trade goes off and you have, a core of Trae Young, Coby White, Ayo Dosunmu, and Patrick Williams, okay.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think I can live with that. I can watch that team and
I think you made a good point. You trade, you don't resign DeMar, you trade Caruso, you trade Vooch, and we see what we can get. And then maybe we package this lottery pick potential that we have with the Caruso and move up to like a top 10 pick and get a big guy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, that's not a bad idea. You would at least have, you got your guards are young, so again, like we've said several times, that's taken care of. And then if you get some draft capital, things might not be looking too shabby in 365 days from now.
No, for sure. We could be all right.
What about Miles Bridges? What's that do for you? Is that
I mean, but is he more small forward than he is power?
I know, that's what I was saying. He's not really a big.
I would take Miles Bridges. What is he, 26, 27?
Yeah, probably something like that. I'm just scrolling through the list here. Oh, Tristan Thompson's available again.
Yeah, well, I don't want that. Like, I want a young.
I know that, right? Yeah.
And I don't know who he just signed with, but I think we should have taken a shot on like Kai Jones.
Yeah, because was that the guy who was with Charlotte?
Yeah, and then he had some mental health issues, and then I don't know if it's a contender.
Yeah, because I actually remember
if it was Golden State or like
I remember it at the beginning of the season, we had briefly mentioned him.
We
as
talked
like,
about it. Let me
is
check.
this someone, Ty Jones.
Clippers.
Yeah.
He's 23.
Yeah, see, I totally agree with you. That's somebody that they should have.
Yeah, like what's the hurt and kicking the tires, bringing him in?
Yeah.
So it's like, or like, I've always been fascinated with Jonathan Kuminga on the Warriors. Like, bring him, like.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd be okay with that. I
just don't know how you fill out the roster next year.
I think
you can't roll this out to me and say, John, get back on board.
That's what I was just going to say. I can't. I love DeMar. I love AC. I have moments where I've loved Vooch.
Mm-hmm.
But like I can't do it again. I'm with you. I can't do it another year.
Like without doing anything else major, this is the ceiling for this team.
Yes, exactly. And what's this, the third year in a row now that we've kind of ended up in the same spot?
Yeah, like it's not working.
Yes. And as loyal as we are, we've jumped on board even against professional advice. Don't do it, guys. Don't do it.
Don't do it. It's not good for you.
We still do it anyways. I couldn't do it another year.
No.
So really, I guess that's our takeaway from it is what exactly they do. I don't know what the best course of action is, but it has to be something. I can't.
No, I think you have to move Zach. You have to move DeMar.
Yes.
You have to. I think the only 3, 4, if you're counting Lonzo, that you keep are the young guys. I think you keep. Yeah. I think you have to keep Patrick Williams, Coby White, and Io.
Yeah, I agree with that. Don't give up on Williams yet.
No.
He didn't do anything, obviously, where he's going to demand some huge contract. So,
which is crazy because that's where our talk was at the beginning of the season. He was talking $200 million.
$200 million contract. Yeah.
And now it's like, you're probably going to get a Coby. You're probably going to get a 3-year, $70 million. Prove yourself.
Yes, which I would be all for that.
Yeah, I would be too.
And especially, because that's always kind of been his thing is, you wouldn't have Zach taking as many shots. You wouldn't have DeMar taking as many shots. You might have to put a little pressure on him offensively to do some more. So,
and I'll tell you, like if they say, okay, we're gonna re-sign DeMar, I'm like, okay, you got to get rid of like everybody else.
Yeah.
If you're selling me on the fact that like you want to be a contender and one of your big moves is DeMar, then okay.
Yeah.
You're going to be packaging everybody else.
And that's what concerns me. And I don't, Jerry upstairs isn't going to like this, but they just finished first in attendance.
Yeah.
So that's my concern is why is he going to do anything to change it? He has 41 dates a year that he knows he can almost guarantee a sellout.
Yep.
So hopefully, I don't know. I worry because I feel for you guys on the South Side. I truly do.
But you know what? It's so similar, and it's obvious that we're under the same ownership group because What are you doing?
Mirror image of each other. I don't get it.
And it's like you have Colson Montgomery, like a young kid, like number 8, 9 product. Bring him up and give the team something. It's like the Bulls, like, give us something. Like, we talked many times. Let us be the Detroit Pistons. We suck, but we're young and we're exciting. And, like,
even if that potential never gets fulfilled, just watching, hoping exactly that. Yeah, I feel for you, man. No team should have to suffer through that.
It's just, and they're doing the same thing to the Bulls. It's like, give us some. Like, you can't keep rolling this out and be like, come, make sure you're there.
Right. Don't miss it. See red.
We might win 50 of these.
Yeah.
50%, I mean, not 50 games.
Yeah, I was going to say, maybe we'll get to 40 wins this year.
Yeah, so it's like, but give me something.
I know.
Yeah, like, honestly, I'd be fine if we're at the 17th pick and they're like, hey, we got some 18-year-old kid. He's just a freak.
Yeah.
Might
Some
be a
like
bust.
overseas player that you don't really. Yeah, just something.
Yeah. Like next year, honestly, I'd be good with like. I know we keep going back to this. We get rid of everybody, but you're like, but we have Coby and Patrick and Io, and then we have this young kid that we got at 18, and Dalen Terry's playing, and that kid Julian Phillips is playing.
Yeah, because those two have played some good minutes, dude.
Yeah.
They have showed that they can be role players in the league, and that's saying a lot for Dalen Terry. How we were
100%.
at the beginning of the season.
Because it's like, okay, but then that team wins 28 games. You're like, yeah, but it was the guys are young and we're having fun, and they're like,
I would sign up for that over this season 100 times. Let's see. Oh, power went out, so I don't even know if this is going to finish recording. Ah, there he is.
Hey, I'm in the dark here. My power went out.
I was going to keep going, but I wasn't sure if it was like still recording with you not on there. But
well, it might not be, so we might need to wrap this guy up.
All right, we'll see. Hey, before we go, I got a quick shout out.
Oh, okay, here we go.
So at an event last weekend, which
yes, I was mad.
Hey, you got stuff to do. I get it, but Matt, a friend of ours, Matt Deckman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay, here we go.
His lady friend, Aaron, shout out to you. Big fan of the Meatbulls.
Are you serious? Well, Aaron, I'm looking forward to meeting you. Matt called me some slurs.
It got a little, it was late. Drinks were had.
Late. I get it.
Tensions were high. Matt
I get it.
A little horny.
Yeah, as he does. So, well, Aaron, thanks for listening. We got to get this one up. I'm going to try to activate our Apple Podcast account again and get this out there.
Yes, let's see if we can do that because I have tomorrow off, so I can actually try and get that out there if it's able before the game.
All right. Well, we got the game tomorrow night. What do you think? Last thing before we sign off. Bulls 3.5. I gotta go.
That sounds empty.